Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. Coming up, should women in the military be allowed to paint their nails?
Also, the Hubble Telescope just hit the bullseye.
All that and more on the way next. I heard this, Allie, on Sparkle's show earlier this week as Valentine's Day fastly, is that a word? Fastly approaches.
I think so.
Some people may feel the pressure to find love. But, you know, how much is that actually worth? How much is finding love worth? One California company believes it is worth $1 million.
We both did that.
Yeah, the Dr. Evil thing. A company called 3 Day Rule, based out of Los Angeles, has launched their program called $1 Million Matchmaking, where they claim for 3 people, this is so intense of an operation, they can only accept 3 people. For $1 million each, they will find you your soulmate in a year.
Okay.
And so what does that include? It doesn't just include, you know, consulting with you on what you hope to find, what your soulmate feels like in your mind. But also, like, they'll sift through all of the dating apps, I'm sure, and all the different various other areas that a soulmate could exist, which is basically anywhere a single person is. And then it sounds like they will, like, train you on how to date when you go on dates and stuff like that. Like, basically whatever you need, but they'll set you up on all these dates, and then it's just up to you to see if you click with the person.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you have $1 million, why not give it a shot, right? You know, if you have a whole team backing you, you would think your chances are better at finding love.
Do you think that when they are putting out the ad, like, you know, the profiles on the dating apps and stuff like that, or when they're connecting with these people, setting up the date, do they tell them, hey, we're actually a dating service and somebody paid us $1 million to find you? Do you think they tell them that?
I don't know, but I don't know if I got a message like that on a dating app, you know, I don't know what I would. That
would sound like a scam.
Yeah, I'd be like, what the heck is this?
Yes.
Unmatched.
Hello, I'm Prince Wamola. I've been wired $1 million from Nigeria to find the perfect match on behalf of him. It would seem like a scam, but otherwise, I think you would tell them, because that would make it a lot easier if the person's just like, well, if this person can pay $1 million to find me as the match, then I would like to match with them, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's true, but I'm sure they don't want gold diggers ending up in the situation.
True.
You know, they don't want people coming after these, you know, potential, I don't even know, matches.
Yeah.
That are just like wanting their money.
That's probably why I got weeded out when I was on the dating apps.
You got weeded out?
Yeah, like if they sent me a thing that said $1 million, I said, okay, no questions asked, let's get married.
So you got this message while you...
Yeah, I did. When I was... It didn't really go very far. But like $1 million, this is... some would say that's crazy. Why would you pay so much? I'm married. Wouldn't I pay $1 million? If the choice was get divorced or pay $1 million, I don't have $1 million, but hey, I'd have to find a way, you know? It's worth it. Once you fall in love, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, though, you can't buy love.
No.
So what you are buying is you're buying a team to help you find love. So it doesn't guarantee anything.
No, you just can't. You can never be sure.
No.
That's why the $1 million would be risky.
Yes.
Not because it's not worth it, just because you could have $1 million and they can make all the promises in the world, but you still might just not find that right person. And maybe that could mean you're the difficult one.
Yep.
It could be your fault. But I'm the type of guy, I have a philosophy at this point, and that is to not hate on things that are popular.
Okay.
I don't think that's that just makes you sound annoying, because you're thinking, like, if something's popular, that means a lot of people like it.
Right.
And so the majority of people that are hearing you hate on the thing that's popular are going to be like, well, that guy sounds like a jerk. He hates the thing I like. So I don't like to do that. But counter to that is I do think, and I find enjoyment, and I think most people are like this, that we like to go against the grain of whatever, like it feels like the powers that be tell us how to live life.
Right. Stick it to the man.
Yeah. I feel like some of it originates back in whatever, the 60s or whatever, when the man was the way you would talk about it.
Yeah.
You just feel like you want to go against the corporate overlords and the authoritarians and whatever. And one way I like to do that, and this is, I aspire to do it anyways, is that the world tells you, I think they say the right thing. The man, the powers that be say, they say love everybody. But what they really mean is hate the people that disagree with you and at best tolerate. That's a word we've heard a lot, is tolerance. Like you got to tolerate. And I feel like even that's gone by the wayside. There's some like pretty language that says you should love everybody. But the truth is, what they want you to do is they want to pit everybody against each other. Yeah. If somebody disagrees with you, you should hate them.
Right.
And they're wrong. Like they're wrong. You should argue.
Right.
And so how I like to go against that sentiment is by doing what it literally says in the Bible, and that is repay evil for blessing. When people you think are like completely, absolutely wrong, like evil. Yeah. You're supposed to bless them. Right. That's what it says in the Bible. Right. That is nothing the world will ever tell you, and nothing you'll ever see in the comment section of anything. But that's as a Christian you're called to do. And as hard as that is, I feel like that is something that can show the world something different that can actually change things instead of just dragging us down further into a pit of hate.
Exactly. That just shows you how monumental the message of Jesus Christ is. It's so anti everything human nature says you're supposed to do. It says you're supposed to, eye for an eye. It says you're supposed to get revenge. And, we talked about yesterday the line from the song from Amberlin, if you want revenge, then dig 2 graves. Yeah. Because if you want revenge, you're killing yourself in the process by getting your revenge. Mm-hmm. So, it's anti what we think is correct, but it actually is the only way to true love and peace. That's the way to do it.
Your instincts are to go against the people that try to bring you down. Your instincts are to, when somebody says something nasty, to say something nasty back. Right. But what God wants us to do, and what is the right thing to do, and what make the world a better place, is if we all found a way to do literally the opposite. If the worse they are to you, the better you be to them. Mm-hmm. That's what Jesus has called us to do. It's not easy. That's why you need God involved. Say, hey, God, I want you in my life. I want you to show me that better way to live and show me how to love those and bless those that hate me. You want to know more? RadioU.com/free gift.
Well, we do have some space news, Hudson. Hubble, the space telescope that has been orbiting since the 90s and getting great images for us. Some of the best images.
Possibly one of the most popular space telescopes.
Yes, definitely one of the most well-known.
Probably on the Mount Rushmore.
I would say so. Yeah. They just imaged a pretty awesome discovery with Hubble. Okay. And that was the Bullseye Galaxy, which is about 2.5 times the size of the Milky Way. Okay. Which is cool. Yeah. And it's cool because when capturing this image, it was not too easy to do because of how far away this galaxy is from Earth. So Hubble really did have to go pretty far in space to see this image. It's here you go, 567 million light years from Earth, making it a rather distant object to capture in detail.
I'll say.
But the reason why this is such a cool discovery is because the Bullseye is now confirmed to have 9 rings, 8 of which are visible to Hubble. The last one was one that they were able to confirm through an observatory here on Earth, and they think that there might actually be 10. They're just thinking the 10th one faded away. But with the 9, it already makes it 6 more rings than any other known galaxy. Wow. So it's a pretty cool feat.
It's like the Bill Russell of galaxies.
It's got all those rings, baby.
Yeah, that is amazing. The picture is pretty impressive. Like I'm impressed. Especially you think about how far away that is, and that it has that kind of that we can get that kind of image of it is actually amazing. Of course, that doesn't help anybody listening on the radio, but you should definitely look it up because if you have any sense of the majesty of the universe, this will speak to you.
It absolutely will. It's beautiful to see God's creation like this, and that's one of the reasons I love Hubble and also the James Webb Telescope, which is one that we recently put up in orbit. It's much more powerful than Hubble, so it often gets really, really good images of things that are even further away. But I just love it as a person that has loved Hubble for so long that it is still getting images because we thought Hubble might be broken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hubble actually had an issue with one of its gyros recently, and they thought they might need to shut it down entirely.
Not the gyros.
Right? And they're not sending any other missions up there to like fix it, like they have in the past to try and do some maintenance on it.
Where is it right now?
It's just in orbit, but
orbiting Earth?
Yeah.
Oh, and we can see that from here.
Hubble can get a lot of. Hubble's huge. First of all, it's a massive telescope. But if you go and Google the image, you're probably just going to see the image of it sitting in space, and you're just like, oh, that's not big at all.
Yeah, well, it won't look big compared to Earth.
Yeah, but then look at it with like astronauts next to it that are doing some maintenance work on it, and you'll be like, oh wait, okay, it's huge. But they did think that Hubble was going to be just something sitting up in space, not really doing much because its gyro wasn't working, and it was able to self-fix itself. It was able to do some self-maintenance to get it working again, and now Hubble's taking some pretty cool images.
Isn't that unbelievable? This thing that shot up in the 90s, still working, fixed itself, and we can't get our astronauts back from the Boeing Starliner thing.
Yeah, right.
Explain that to me. Starting February 10th, we're going to get the Shamrock Shake back at McDonald's. But that's not all, Allie.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard, but returning with the Shamrock Shake will be Grimace's long-lost uncle. Of course, we've all fallen in love with Grimace over the years.
Yes.
Grimace's long-lost uncle also going to be traveling the country in honor of the Shamrock Shake. And I want to do this very respectfully, but Uncle Grimace will be going coast to coast. Trying to raise money for Ronald McDonald House's charity's 50th anniversary.
Oh, my goodness. I think you sound more like Jacksepticeye than anything else.
No, I don't know who that is.
It's just a YouTuber, I think.
I've heard the name. It's just probably not the thing I would watch. Because based off of what I just did, that would probably be horrible.
Yeah.
To watch for any long period of time. Grimace's long-lost uncle, Uncle O'Grimacy, is returning from who knows where, I guess Ireland, Shamrock, Ireland, in fact. And he and Grimace and McDonald's will be donating 25 cents from every Shamrock Shake sold to the Ronald McDonald House charities. Their goal is to raise $5 million.
That's awesome. I have to say, my sister is a benefactor of the Ronald McDonald House.
Really?
Yes. My niece has cerebral palsy, and so she actually was just there this Monday for a surgery that she has to get regularly done, and was able to stay at the Ronald McDonald House because of that. So that charity is truly impacting so many people. So I love anytime they do stuff like this. And anytime McDonald's asks me to give money or, round up or whatever, I'm like, yep, because I know that it's impacting my own family.
Yeah. I feel bad now at the McDonald's when you go through the drive-thru because they always have that little bin where you're supposed to toss your change. And it's like, I wish I had cash sometimes to be able to do that. I feel like the donations must have gone down because of that. But still definitely something worth supporting. And now you can just feel good that every time you get a Shamrock Shake, however many times that may be, that it's not just going towards making you a little more Grimace-sized. It's also going to help a good cause.
Yes.
So that is, you know what? I'll probably have a few extra Shamrock Shakes just because I have an excuse to.
Right.
Well, they come back less than a week from now. February 10th is the launch day of Shamrock Shakes. You like the Shamrock Shake?
Can I tell you something, Hudson?
Yeah.
I've never had one.
You've never had one.
Never had one.
Well, then it won't be anything new to me, but we're going to have to try it here on the show.
We're going to have to.
The Shamrock Shake is something that I like that it only is around every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because then you are like, did I like that? And then you try it and you're like, I guess I liked it enough to get it that one time, at least. And that's usually my relationship. Like, it's good, but do I really like it?
Yeah.
Would I order it if it was always there? Probably not.
Yeah.
But we'll find it. We'll have to find out now.
Yeah.
We're going to have to find out firsthand. Yesterday, we finally got our first look at the teaser trailer for Fantastic Four, The First Steps, which is coming out on July 25th of this year. The Fantastic Four will join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Allie, what did you make of the trailer?
I thought the trailer was pretty good, in all honesty. I liked it a lot. I feel like it has a pretty fun, older theme to it. You know, it's got like the classic cars that almost look like they're from the 50s, but also futuristic. It reminds me a little bit of like the Jetsons a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, I loved the old Marvel logo they used when they started it off. It just feels like you're watching a classic TV show. So yeah, I was pretty surprised by it, and I think it's going to be a fun movie.
I think it actually might, from what I was picking up of the trailer, it may take place in the past, like in the 60s, which would be really cool. But that was the first thing that got me too, is like, it's just visually different than basically every other Marvel movie. Like, you think about the Black Panther and Captain America and even like the Spider-Man movies that have come out, like, they all kind of have the same look to them.
Yep.
And this feels like it just looks different.
Yeah.
Which I like. It feels like it has a different tone too, a very a positive tone. Obviously, the Fantastic Four, they're going to approach things as a family, which seems nice, I guess. And they've already won me over with the cast too. Like, we already knew Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. That's going to be awesome, right?
Yeah.
You've got Joseph Quinn, Ebon Moss, I don't know how to say his name, and Vanessa Kirby. This is a great cast, and that's only the Fantastic Four. There's a bunch of other great names in it as well. I'm getting concerned that it's too easy to make good trailers.
Yeah, that's always my worry, is that the trailers are way better than the movies.
Yeah, which I guess should really raise your eyebrow when you see a trailer that's not good.
Yeah.
Then you're like, well, I guess that movie, like, if they can't even make a good trailer out of it, either the movie is so good they just don't want to give anything away, or the movie's actually that bad. But like, for an average movie, I feel like they can make the trailer look way better than the actual movie does. And so my feelers are up. Like, I'm still ready to possibly be disappointed. So I don't want to get my hopes too high, but I thought I like the trailer. It's making me feel good. I'll tell you this. I will not watch, because obviously there's a lot of time between now and July 25th. I will not watch another Fantastic Four trailer that they release, because I don't want anything else to be spoiled or ruined or given away.
Yeah.
And I will go see this when it comes out, because it looks fun.
Yeah, it does look like it'll be a fun time. But I agree. Staying away from trailers, especially for comic book movies, which are notorious for, showing you too much, is probably a good idea.
Yeah, this is it for me. I cannot watch anymore, because it runs the risk of giving away like some of the, even if the movie's not great, giving away some of the big reveals, the big best parts of the movie.
Yeah.
I hate that. So what did you think? Have you seen the Marvel Cinematic Universe's newest edition, the Fantastic Four First Step teaser trailer? Let us know what your thoughts are at 877-2-RADIO-U. We are doing Would You Rather Wednesday on Radio U Mornings with Hudson and Allie. Your question today is, would you rather climb an icy mountain in clogs or Crocs? Which would you prefer? Allie has firsthand experience with this, which is where the origination of the question came from. We'll start with Regina, who says, Allie, both sound awful, but I think Crocs would have better traction.
Okay.
So I guess I'll go with that, since at least hopefully I wouldn't be taking spills along with my feet being wrecked. She also says when she lived in Georgia, they went to Stone Mountain and tried to climb that. She was wearing flip-flops, and there were parts of that climb where her husband literally had to carry her.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't sound like, we're thinking ahead on that one.
Yeah.
Eric says, I'd do it barefoot before I'd ever put either of those abominations on my feet. Which leads me to my question. Do they make clogs for men?
I believe so.
I'm looking it up. I'm doing my research here. And I scarcely can find Crocs or clogs that are made for men. A second question. Do they make Crocs for adults or that aren't nurses?
I mean, they definitely have adult sizes for Crocs.
They're not meant for adults, though. It's meant for a 10-year-old.
Birkenstock literally has a page for men's clogs.
So I did my research. I've been looking at these. I see here some Uggs women's cozy clogs that if I had to choose between all of the options, I would climb a mountain in those.
Okay.
They look comfortable, and how much can you really worry about style on an icy mountain climb anyways? You think your boots look cool? No, they're functional, and so I think these clogs, if it's icy, they would keep my feet warm, and that's probably what I would really care about, and so that's what I'm going with.
Well, I think I have to go the opposite direction of what I was trying to do, which was try to climb an icy mountain in clogs, which was not working, which made me yell for Nene saying I can't do this and we need to turn around.
And he had to carry you.
No, he didn't have to carry me, but he was very disappointed. I felt very bad. So I think I'd have to try the Crocs and see if that had any better luck, because Crocs have sport mode. Clogs do not.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The sport mode. You know what, too? Like, let's say, I think this is important to remember. I think Eric raises a good point. Let's say you're climbing an icy mountain in Crocs or clogs. There's a chance you don't make it. Yeah. And then they find your dead body frozen wearing Crocs or clogs. That's so actually I'm going with Eric on this one. We are asking the age-old question, should the day after the Super Bowl, should Super Bowl Monday be a holiday, a national holiday where basically everybody gets off of work and school? Lots of good, different perspectives coming in. People have different thoughts. Now, Lindsay says, not only do I think the Monday after the Super Bowl should be a holiday, I also think after like 5 p.m. on Super Bowl Sunday, everything should close so everyone can go to Super Bowl parties.
So it's literally like a Christmas Day type of, like, that's like Christmas Eve. What happens on Christmas Eve?
Shut it all down. I don't think that, I'm sorry, Lindsay, I don't think that'd be good for commerce, because so many like pizza places and sub shops and wing places and whatever. And obviously a lot of restaurants too, that like where you would go to watch.
Yeah.
It's huge business for them. Derek also says 100% it should be everyone watches, not just football fans.
Yes.
And also to Lindsay and Derek, I would say you'd actually be surprised. As many people watch the Super Bowl, when you like do the math on what the ratings are versus how many people are in the United States, it's like there's a surprising amount of people that must not watch.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's, of course, people that don't watch and don't care. But like you just said, there's plenty of people working. They're not watching it.
They're not watching. And there's lots of people. Yeah, there's some people that just want some counter programming.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't want to watch the Super Bowl. I want to watch anything else but the Super Bowl.
Right.
Because I do not care. So you got to acknowledge that, you know.
Yeah. But I do think enough people watch it that it has become this thing where it's like, we're actually considering, should we do this?
Yeah. Yeah. We're not doing that for really any other event, right?
No.
Although, Julie says, how about this? It'll be nice for everyone to have a 2-hour delay the day after.
Oh.
I think that could work.
Yeah.
I think Julie...
Just get a little extra sleep.
Solutions oriented. Regina says, definitely a holiday. We're all too tired the next day anyways and probably not as productive.
Yeah.
I like that argument, but also if we start to give holidays for all the days where we aren't as productive, all of a sudden we're getting March Madness off too. And, like why we even work at all the entire week of Christmas and Thanksgiving. Like we should take which actually sounds really nice. But she says what I was thinking, which is you could also move the Super Bowl instead of moving it. Some people say Friday or Saturday like you did, which I think that's tough. Like football Sunday. But what if we moved it to President's Day weekend? Then for a lot of people, that Monday is already a holiday anyways, and it makes a little more sense that instead of like at RadioU, we would be like, well, we're giving you the day off for a football game. the day after a football game. It would be, well, we're honoring our country, and also it so happens to be the day after the Super Bowl.
Sure. I mean, if you want to tie it to an actual holiday, why not?
Yeah, it's already right there. It's literally a week off. And I think like the Super Bowl now, it's always seems to be the week before President's Day. Why couldn't the NFL, in an act of good faith towards everybody, move their season and by 1 week? We all know they want to extend the regular season anyways. Maybe this is where we're going.
Yeah.
They had one more game at the end of the regular season, and then that pushes the Super Bowl back.
Yeah, Roger Goodell could be thinking this as endgame.
He could be a hero. He could be a hero. He gets Patrick Mahomes and Taylor Swift back to the Super Bowl every year, and he makes it a holiday, a de facto holiday. Well done, Mr. Commissioner.
I'll give him half credit on that.
John says, as a school teacher and seeing the number of students that are absent the day after the Super Bowl anyways, which is a lot of them, it needs to be some kind of day off or half day for schools so teachers and students can get some sort of break from a fun-filled day the day before. Yeah,
that makes sense. I mean, I'm shocked to hear that so many parents leave their kids out of school. I would think they'd be like, all right, go to school, kids.
Well, one other thing is like, and this doesn't have anything to do with that, but I was thinking like, obviously there's lots of holidays and the Super Bowl is not a holiday, but one of them where you're much more concerned about people driving drunk.
Yes.
And so if everybody didn't have to worry about getting home to go to bed, to go to work the next day, then you might see less drunk drivers out on the road because they'd be more likely to just stay wherever they are if they're, at somebody's party. And then it's like, well, just crash on the couch or whatever.
Right.
It might be marginal, but it makes a difference.
Sure.
So I think there's a lot of good arguments and a lot of solutions that are presented instead of what we currently do now, which is not get Monday off after the Super Bowl at all. There's been a little shakeup recently. The U.S. military that's causing some women to be upset. Allie, explain this to me. The military guidelines have been updated. Their uniform guidelines that now restrict their personnel from wearing colored nail polish. They're also, this is what I need explained. They're only permitted to wear 3 manicure styles: clear, French, or American.
Yep.
What does that mean?
So clear manicure is just a clear polish put on your nails. French is there's a clear polish, but then at the tip is like white.
Okay.
And then for an American manicure, it's very similar to French, but instead of the white, it's like a nude sheer color.
Okay.
So it's basically like 3 manicures, but the main point of it is it's very like clean lines, like not color, just other than white.
There's no designs.
No color. Yeah, no designs.
No personality.
No color. I mean, I would say there's personality to it, but it's just like, it's very clean, not distracting, not like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see a checklist. And to be fair, there's a much longer list of colors that you can color your nails than that you can't. However, all of the colors that you can color your nails are all like skin tones.
Yeah.
And all of that would be somebody's skin tone. All of the unauthorized colors are, blue and bright pink and yellow and, things that you would not, if your body is yellow, you're probably jaundiced and you need some help. Your skin, your nails should not match that. Women are upset about this. I guess I didn't realize, but in the military until now, if you wanted to get your nails done, I guess it could be maybe whatever you want.
No. So what had happened was last year, they came out with the Department of Defense authorized 60 colors for nail polish. And that could be worn while you were in uniform.
Okay.
Because theoretically, while you were out of uniform, like in your civilian clothes, you could wear whatever nail polish you wanted.
Yeah.
You would just need to take it off before getting back in uniform.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Well, I mean, it's not a lot of work, but you couldn't definitely get your nails done at a nail salon. That would be a waste of money. But this changes all of that. So I think what people are more upset with is the quick change. I think it makes sense though. Like if you're in the military, it's more of like a serious job in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so for them to be like, we just want it to be clean, with this either clear nail polish or French or American manicure. I think that makes sense in my opinion.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm surprised that this wasn't how it already was.
Right.
Just because it's hard for me to picture a woman in her, what's the name for what's the uniform? What do you call it?
I don't know.
What is it? What is it called? What is the clothes you wear when you're in the military?
Your uniform?
No, there's like a word for it. Like scrubs, but for military. I don't know what it is. But it's hard for me to picture a woman that's in the military dressed in all of her military things. And then she has like glittery nails or like snowmen. And it'd be like, that doesn't see, it just doesn't make sense in my mind.
They weren't doing snowmen, Hudson. They were allowed to use color, but they weren't like doing some intricate designs.
Okay.
So
anything that I've never seen a picture of a woman serving in the military where I noticed her nails.
Yeah.
But I've also probably never seen a woman where I noticed her nails first.
But like you said, I do feel like it makes sense because, the military does have, what we would consider traditionally strict guidelines on what you can and cannot do as far as like personal, with your hair and all sorts of different things. So it makes sense that it would extend into this area too.
But on the other side of it, when you are somebody, like think about it, your job or whatever you do, and if they're like all of a sudden you've been able to do this the entire time and now you can't, you would be upset no matter what the thing was, if it's something that you've ever done.
Sure, people would be upset. But I also think I know a lot of people like if they're in the military and they are, like higher up in the military, they like uniformity. And so I think this is more about that than anything else. They're like, we want it to be uniform so that it's not like every single person is doing their own thing.
Right.
That's anti-military.
Yeah, you don't want to stand out in the military, usually.
No.
But yeah, that, it would be tough. The one little way that you could, your own little piece of
personal,
flair.
Yeah.
And now no more pieces of flair. I think Allie and I are both feeling a little fatigued. After the last few minutes, we were talking about the military where they have changed their uniform guidelines for women. They're not allowed to basically color their nails almost at all anymore. I was trying to describe I was looking for a word. What do you call it? What people in the military wear? They're like standard issue outfits. I said scrubs, but for the military. Allie was no help at all, but thank you to everybody. I've never seen so many people.
This is like a Battle of the Buzz part 2.
That knew what I was saying. I was looking for the word fatigues. It happens sometimes. You talk so much, you can't find the word you're looking for. But that's what I count on you, Allie, to help.
I'm blaming it on the brain fog. I definitely knew that it was called that, but I'm blaming it on the fact that I'm sick. I'm fully using that as my excuse.
We can't both have brain fog at the same time.
Brain fatigue? How about that? Brain fatigue?
Now, also, it should be pointed out, too, I didn't realize this. So we were talking about how they've changed the guidelines in the military for what women can do with their nails. What I said was there's a much like basically you can do all these skin tones. There's a much longer list of colors you can do than you can't. But that's how it used to be. All those skin tones you can't do anymore.
Yeah, it's just clear now.
It's literally like just clear and like white, right?
It's just clear, and then the French tip could be white. But that's just the very tip of the nail.
That's much crazier than I thought.
Why? I mean, it just makes sense for the military to have it more uniform like that. My cousin actually just texted me and said, she was like, I'm pretty sure when you sign up for the military, you're kind of giving away or giving up your identity. So it should be expected that they have stricter rules on this stuff.
Then what do you say to this person who says, I joined the Air Force because I knew I could still have fun nails?
That's the reason?
Somebody said, no, they said that. That's not the only reason I'm sure they joined.
Like, that's a really
there's a lot of other jobs where you can also have fun nails. That's why they chose the Air Force. Rachel says, take it from Rachel. She's a woman. She says, the policy makes sense for their dress uniforms, but not so much for their regular wear / day-to-day uniforms. Dress code policies for women in the military have been too rigid, more than men's. Shocker, I know. For a long time, and I feel like this is a step backward. It's okay to let people express their personalities in harmless ways.
Yeah, but again, it's the military. They're not about expressing personality. In the military, like I said, the higher ups, all they want is uniformity. So it makes sense that they would choose a decision like this. I also feel like it's hard to say about if women's things have been more rigid, because also women have a lot more different ways they can express themselves when it comes to dress compared to men. So I feel like there's probably more rules for women just because we have a lot of different things we could wear.
Far be it from me to go against Rachel. And I think too, you want uniformity in the military, but the little things that you can do that are fun, that's what sets us apart from other dictatorships in countries like that, where they demand uniformity. And I'm sorry, hasn't our military been functioning pretty well this entire time where women could do their nails?
I'm sure.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I say. I stand with women that want to color their nails. I feel like this comes up every so often. And Allie, we've never talked about it together, so I thought I want to get your thoughts on this.
Wait, no, we did talk about this.
We talked about reusable toilet paper before.
We talked about the plant.
Oh, yeah.
That people are using for toilet paper.
Well, I love that idea. I wish I could grow my own toilet paper plant. That seems to be, at the moment, an exclusive thing to Africa. That's a callback to, I don't know, however many months ago that came up. Yeah. But this is something that's possibly more accessible to the everyday person, and that is reusable toilet paper. There's one mom in particular who has gone viral online on TikTok for showing how her and her family do reusable toilet paper. Now, I think it should be acknowledged first. One, she's like defending herself because she feels like people don't understand how reusable toilet paper works. Her top thing, the straw man argument that she gets all the time is, aren't you guys all, your whole family, using the same toilet paper? You wipe yourself with the same as your son and your husband. And she says, technically, yes. But because it's reusable, it gets washed between every use. So although someone else in your family surely has wiped with the reusable toilet paper before, it was washed in between. And so that makes it okay.
Okay.
First of all. Secondly, so this is cloth toilet paper that you, instead of flushing down the toilet, you put it in a bin and then somebody has to wash it. She also says they have a bidet.
Okay.
And I feel like this is what really made her go viral, though, is she said they recently had an instance where they went through twice as much reusable toilet paper. She had to do twice as many loads. You know why?
Why?
They ate at Taco Bell.
Yikes.
So could this be a cost-effective way? Everything's gone up in price, inflation running rampant. Could the reusable toilet paper be the way of the future to be more sustainable and to save some cash, which we could all stand to do these days?
I can tell you I will not be doing this ever.
Never. You live alone.
Well, here's the thing also.
So that means you would have to do the laundry.
Yeah,
which is why I wouldn't want to do this.
Well, to me, yeah, that's the thing that I'm like, you are in a family of 6 people. There's a lot of laundry that comes with 6 people.
Yeah.
Why are you, willingly allowing yourself to do more laundry? I feel like the money you're spending with the detergent and the water, to laundry, all of these cloths that you're reusing, it's just going to probably even out at the end for what you would buy with toilet paper. Now, that doesn't stop the sustainability issue that I'm sure she has with toilet paper.
Sure.
And that, she probably believes it's killing trees and all of that. But I don't know if it's saving her any money, her personally, in the long run.
From the money perspective, I don't know. Toilet paper is really expensive, especially if you're like me.
Detergent.
If you're like me and you need the luxury stuff, if I go to somebody's house and they have single ply, I turn around and walk out like that Simpsons meme, like Grandpa Abe. I do not stick around in a house with single ply, but. And you know what? As far as like, would I use reusable toilet paper? If somebody suggested that or whatever, it'd be weird. You go to somebody's house and you're like, where's the toilet paper? Oh, it's those cloths there.
Yeah, I would
That'd be crazy.
I would walk out in that situation. I would take the one ply at that point.
I don't think that would bother me as much, but I would never do this if I had to be the one doing the laundry, because I am not washing everyone else's toilet paper, even if I am related to them. No, thank you.
Yeah, it makes me feel quite icky. I just, I'm not a fan of this in any way, I gotta say.
I'm not.
I understand wanting to save money. I understand wanting to be more sustainable, but this to me is just not the way I'm going to do it.
Yeah, this is, yet again, if somebody wants to volunteer to wash it, then I guess I'd be fine.
Thanks for listening to The Hudson Show. Please don't forget to rate and review the podcast.